Hey guys, welcome to our weekly AMA. Hope you guys have all been having a great week. And markets, they're looking great. Markets are pumping. October is looking strong, and we got a lot of exciting updates to share with you guys today. So let's jump right into it. So firstly, you guys have probably noticed we've been doing a lot to bring more excitement into the communities. We've expanded the team. We're doing a bunch of new initiatives such as, raid competitions, getting tons of raids going. We're going to experiment with some last buy competitions. So Blue and Baby Aster both have V2 LPs. So because of that, we're able to use that buy tech bot to do last buy competitions. And I think that I've discovered that, playing around with the parameters, I think we can get a lot of excitement on that. So, we played around with one of them on Baby Aster with a 30-minute timer. But I think that if we keep the timer a lot shorter and we keep the minimum buy amount a lot lower, we could have a lot of continued excitement, like, something like maybe a 5-minute timer on the last buys. So we are definitely going to be playing around with that a lot and seeing how we can continue to increase the excitement that's been happening in the communities. So, one of the major, guys that we brought on board is Knox. You guys have probably seen him around the communities. He's kind of spearheading a lot of these new initiatives in terms of, the competitions, keeping everything active and pumping the raids. So I'm super excited with, what he's done so far and, what he's going to continue to do. It's only been a couple of days that he's been on board, but, really pumped for what's to come of that. So let's jump into Blue. Blue had a nice, huge buy today, nice pump. It looks like that was the catalyst that we needed to, kind of turn momentum around, and, really excited about that price movement. We got almost a 30% move on the day so far. And for those of you that caught the build stream that we did earlier this week, we made a bunch of updates to the Blue website, and actually that 13K buy that we got today, it looked like it actually used our on-site swap that we built live together. So that's already very fruitful. It's making it a lot easier for guys to get into Blue, just being able to simply go to our website and buy with BNB right on the site. So love how that's working. We've had some great feedback in terms of the changing the display from 50,000% APY to showing the daily earning amounts. So I think that's also super positive. And with these changes, if anybody has any other changes that they can recommend that would make this easier for new users or more inviting for new investors, definitely feel free to share that. And, I'd be happy to implement that. But yeah, we're going to be starting banner ads to get, traffic to the Blue website. And obviously with the intention of getting new investors on board. And with the market starting to pump, BNB chain doing excellent, I think it's the right time to really start pouring on some of those ad dollars and, using those 3 different accounts that I have to get some banner ads going to drive some traffic to the site. We also we had the biggest buy competition in October. Again, unfortunately, our bot wasn't properly tracking that, but we did track that manually. The winner was about a 5.2K buy. I'm going to look up the wallet address and get that sent out, and we'll make an announcement about that, about the winner and the transaction with the prize money going out. So I'm not sure exactly who that was, but congrats on winning the 400 USDC to whoever did that 5.2K buy during October. All right, let's catch up with some comments. Let's go. Pamp it. Ready to go to outer space. Let's go. Let's go. Nick reposting the stream. Good man. What happened to the airdrop? I'm going to talk about that a little bit later in the stream, but I guess real quick, I could touch on it. Everything's looking great in terms of that, and we're going to be actually deploying to mainnet over the next couple of days. So that's when that airdrop will happen. So very exciting times there. There's going to be tons of earning opportunities over on Abstract Chain. So hope you guys are as pumped about that as I am. So yeah, that's what we got for Blue. Blue is looking great. As I've always said right since we launched, this is the ultimate degen playground. There's so much that we can build on top of this, but even at its core, it's just such a great protocol, so simple, and it's just it looks great, it's easy to use, and it has great earning opportunities. So I think Blue's in a really great place here. Let's jump over to Book. So here's the Blue chart. Here's the Book chart. Book has also seen a pump today, up almost 10%. I have a couple really big things to announce about Book. Firstly, I mentioned last AMA that we were in discussions with a major KOL with millions and millions of followers. I had a great call with her, coordinator of events, or manager, I guess you could say. And that call went super well. We're looking to do a very long-term deal, like a full year worth of promotion. And we have another call next week to kind of finalize things on that. So that is going to be unbelievably bullish for Book once we get that started. And again, we have a really large investor that's interested in Book, and they showed interest in the past when we had big volume, and we just need our volume to just pick up a little bit, and we'll be able to restart those negotiations. And they were looking to put $750,000 into Book. So they're still interested. They just need to see more volume. So, I think that with this KOL deal that we have going on, and with the momentum that we've already, kind of started to create here, that's something that's going to be very realistic in the near future. And again, I can't, you can never understate how big of an impact BookUSD will have on Book. This is honestly the ultimate utility, right? To be able to borrow a stable coin against your Book, to be able to earn on that stable coin, to be able to leverage up your Book position. I mean, when Book is in positive price action, BookUSD is just a no-brainer. It's, it will thrive. I know right now the price of BUS is a little bit low, and, the BUD volume is not super high at the moment, but it just takes a little bit of positive momentum on Book, and BookUSD will absolutely fly. So very, very pumped about that. And a little bit of a surprise announcement for you guys. Something that I've been working on that is going to be ready quite soon. I mean, as you guys know, with the, Aster, Hyperliquid, Plasma, there's a lot of talk about, or not talk, there's a lot of action with perpetual dexes, right? Like, a dex where you can leverage trade. And this is like all the hype right now. So it's not 100% ready yet, but I'm gonna show you guys something, and I'm gonna demo it for you. But Book Dex, this is Perpetual Dex fully functioning, and this is something where I just need to finalize the account with the company that basically provides the services for this, and we'll be able to offer this to everybody, right? Like, I mean, a lot of guys are using Perpetual Dexes to be able to leverage trade, and what we have here is something that's fully featured, top of the line Perpetual Dex, and we will be able to generate fees from all users that use this Dex. And before I start talking about it too much, let me show you guys how it works. Firstly, tell me in the chat, I'm just going to do a really small position just to show you guys how it works, but should I go long or short? Let's see what the consensus is in the chat, and we'll do a little $40 position on 100x leverage for fun. Long. All right. Let's see if we get any other votes. Long, long, long. All right. Should we long ETH here as the demo? Or maybe we should do BNB, since we're BNB guys. Everybody wants long. Let's do it. I think BNB is right around the all-time high, but should we long BNB? BNB, ETH, or BTC? What do you guys think? Long BNB. All right. So I got a pending transaction, so my USDC didn't quite hit yet. First, let's obviously degen this up a couple notches. We don't want to do 10x. We want to do 100x. BNB. Oh, BNB only supports 20x. All right, guys. Change of plans. We're doing something that supports 100x. Let's go ETH. we got a short. I mean, it is likely that we might see a bit of a pullback here, but we're just doing this for fun, just to demo it. So, all right, so my deposit's complete now. A lot more guys said long, so we're going to go for the long. So let's pick a price here. Let's say, okay, we can do 0.79 ETH with the 40 bucks we got in here. Let's do it. Confirm. Boom, done. So, I mean, just like you guys would, see with any kind of perpetual DEX, you can see, we got the position here. It's always updating with your, profit and loss. I didn't customize these images yet, but you can have some pretty funny images to show people about, what your position's doing. And we can fully customize all this stuff. But yeah, I mean, this is multi-chain. I've only got this set up for BNB, Ethereum, and Base, but we can, have this work across any network. We can even, get this on, working with Abstract and Abstract Global Wallet. We can have support Solana. Basically, it's just the way that I look at this is, a lot of guys want to trade leverage. So, why not trade on our own book branded DEX and, where the fees that you're paying, instead of just going to some large corporation, they can, actually, benefit our community, where we can use this to fund marketing initiatives. We can use this to fund buybacks. We can do all kinds of things with the, the fees that we can generate with this. Kev T says, Perp Dex will be huge for price appreciation. An app with a Dex Launchpad and Perpet today on base chain went up 350%. Yeah, I mean, again, I think that, this is such a simple perpetual DEX to use. And the other cool thing is, I guess, maybe I haven't been super active in the perpetual trading DEXs, but these are actually cross leverage, which basically means that I'm used to the old school style where everything was isolated, right? So when you have a position, if your position goes up in value, you need to close some of that position to be able to start taking more trades or taking more leverage. But I mean, it seems like everything nowadays has cross 100x leverage or cross leverage of whatever amount that you want. So basically you can see I've already, because we're in a little bit of profit here, I actually already have the ability to, spend more money if I want to. Right. So that's pretty cool. So you could have a, obviously you don't have to go 100x, but, as soon as your positions start to appreciate in value, you get more buying power available. Right. So I can take more of a position right now. Let's do that for fun. Right. I'll take a little bit more. Oh, it looks like it just dropped a little bit. See, I'm just barely on the verge of being able to, and the price is moving around quite a bit. Yeah. So that buy amount was a little bit too low. All right. Well, if the price jumps a lot, I'll show you guys adding more to the position. But yeah, I mean, I think this is incredible. Didn't take that much effort to do this. It was something that I was, able to figure out super quickly. And yeah, I just got to finalize the account with the provider, and we'll be able to start generating fees. And I'll be happy to share this. I've already got a domain for this all set up and good to go. I'm not going to share it yet until we have it properly set up to capture fees. But yeah, book Perpetual Dex is coming very, very, very soon. So this is going to be super bullish for the whole ecosystem. Aaron win shames. Did you build the DEX with AI? It looks great. So I'm using a provider that basically allows you to white label perpetual DEXs. That way, we can be 100% assured that it's secure, safe. You're going to always be able to withdraw any funds. So it's, I can customize certain aspects of it. I am, running this as my own project, but a lot of these components that you're seeing are coming directly from the provider. So it's kind of like the best of all worlds, because we can, generate revenue for the project, but without having to actually have built all that back end framework to, be able to actually, build a perpetual DEX from scratch. So it's, yeah, kind of the best of all worlds. So I expect in the next couple of days, I'll have, I'm just basically waiting to get a proper broker ID set up where I can customize the fees. I'll definitely make the fees competitive so that, people have no reason not to use our DEX. And yeah, I mean, some of the other DEXs that are set up using something similar to this are, generating anywhere from $5, $10, sometimes more, $1,000 per month. So definitely going to be a great addition to the ecosystem and, generate some great revenue for marketing and for buybacks. So very exciting stuff. Nice work jumping on the orderly perp dex train, borrowing against book, and then using leverage on the perp dex is exciting for the degens. Yes, sir. Yeah, orderly is awesome. Orderly is the protocol. So basically what orderly is they don't basically publish like a dex themselves. They've kind of created the whole backend infrastructure where they let you white label on top of it. And they have ways where, it's kind of like automated with no code, but I've taken the approach where we can kind of customize it a little bit more. And this is actually done like in code, but the functionality of it's basically identical. So great work. Yeah. And, someone mentioned the airdrop earlier. Aborian, it is looking amazing. We are looking to deploy on mainnet in the next 1 to 2 days, and very exciting there. There's going to be some amazing opportunities to earn there. The first couple weeks are, any kind of yield farming opportunity. The first couple weeks are always, super lucrative. So I'll definitely be sharing a lot more about that in the very near future. The growth in book is real and organic. You better believe it, man. We all of our projects are here to stay. We're gonna stick by them, and we're gonna keep doing everything that we have to do to make sure that they're all massive successes. So, everyone here watching the AMA, I appreciate you guys for sticking around through. Obviously with the markets, the broader markets doing what they've been doing, it's been a really tough environment for altcoins, but I think that's about to change, and we have some really, really good projects to take advantage of, when things turn more bullish for the altcoins. Is there something we need to do now for the airdrop? Nope, nothing at all. We've already taken the snapshot of all the wallets. So once the airdrop happens, you guys will all have that available as a locked VE-ABX position with the same wallets that you would have been holding the G Blue. Yep, just hang on. Yep, that's pretty much it. Did you do the snapshot for the airdrop? Yeah, snapshot happened a while ago. Hit that like button. Let's go. Yes, sir. Great job, Aaron. Regarding the airdrop, I have Trust Wallet, and I don't see any way to add a new network. Can you please let me know what I should do? If Trust Wallet, I'm not sure if Trust Wallet supports abstract. I haven't checked that out, but either way, like your actual wallet, you can your actual account, I guess you could say, you could use on any wallet, right? So you could import your seed phrase or your private key into MetaMask or Rabby or any other kind of wallet, the mobile or desktop, and access it that way in case Trust Wallet doesn't support abstract. Hi, Aaron. Is the book bud bust remaining the same? Yep, nothing is changing there. I mean, I think, like I mentioned earlier in the AMA, I think that BookUSD is an absolute powerhouse of a utility. And, all that it needs is a little bit of consistent positive price movement on book. And, its usage is going to go through the roof. Once we get more borrowing, Bus is going to start paying insane rewards. I checked one of my wallets yesterday or day before, and I think like my Bus position was worth $150, and I had like 60 bud waiting there for me, right? Like I had like a 50% return in rewards just sitting there waiting for me. And obviously part of the reason for that is the price of Bus has come down, so the value of that staked Bus is a little bit lower, which is why that return's so high. But I think with what's coming, I think buying Bus here and staking it is like a no-brainer. I think buying book and borrowing against it here is a no-brainer. I think that the stability pool, let's actually open that up. I think that the stability pool, this APR is going to go through the roof once the Bus price picks up. So I think, getting into BookUSD anytime now is really a no-brainer. Just a matter of time before it really picks up. And yeah, I guess while we're looking at this, one of our next build streams is going to be completely reworking the BookUSD interface. So I'm going to show you guys a couple of really neat ways that we're going to tackle that. We're going to use AI to generate a new design, and then we're going to take that design, and then we're going to kind of bring in all the contracts related to BookUSD, and we're going to get AI to wire it all up. And I mean, that'll probably be a 2-part build stream just because it's, there's quite a bit that needs to be wired up, but I don't know, maybe we'll be able to get it done in one, but I'm thinking it'll probably be 2 build streams to get that done. So yeah, I mean, overall, a lot of exciting things going on. We're, doing everything that we can to, really, push prices up and, swing momentum the right direction. And, as you guys can see in the charts, it's already, already underway, and I expect it to continue. I think this is just the very beginning. Mr. Big says, anything new for MSS? Not at the moment. I haven't forgotten about MSS. I know a lot of guys really do love MSS, and as I've said in the past, it's building new utility for MSS is not off the table. There's a couple other things I'm focusing on in the short term, but I think that we potentially can do some more stuff for MSS. There also is still a fix that's in the works for related to the 20 million account cap and some issues related to that. But yeah, that fix will be out very soon. I've already coded most of it. I just need to test a little bit more before I push that live. Things are heating up around Book of Binance. Yes, 100%, man. 100%. And again, all we need is a little bit more volume consistently, and we have a massive investor that's willing to jump in. I'm still having continued conversations with them, so this is something where it's not, it's not out of the question for this to go back to all-time highs. So just so you guys know where that's about a 20x from here. I think that's very possible. Gaz says, thanks, Aaron. It's been a few strange months around, but I think this will change very quickly. Yeah, I mean, I'll agree. It's been a pretty crazy environment. I've been expecting alt season to come around for the last year. I've been expecting it to be, right around the corner, and, due to a lot of different factors, a lot of, mass extraction events on chain, and, there just being, millions of new coins. It's been a tough environment, but I think that things are starting to change right now. I think alts are going to be looking a lot better, which is obviously going to funnel into all of our projects. Dennis says, grab more while a big bag is affordable. Yep, 100%. Yeah, right now you can grab a million book for just under 4K. That's not going to be the case for very long. I appreciate your response regarding the airdrop. I think I converted to GBlue around August 22nd. Would you be able to say if I'd be part of the lucky ones receiving the airdrop? I don't have the exact date handy right now for when exactly that airdrop happened or the snapshot happened. But if you were holding GBlue for that week where I said that the snapshot was going to happen, then for sure you'd be included. If it was towards the end of the week, then I'm not 100% sure because I don't recall exactly which day it was done. But yeah, hopefully you got included in that. All right, guys, that's pretty much what I got for you for today. Anybody have any other questions or feedback? Lots going on, and I'm sure next week's AMA I'll have a ton of new alpha to drop for you guys. We got, momentum is really turning around, and I'm feeling super confident about the future. So again, I want to thank everyone that's stuck around through all these last couple months where it's been a pretty tough environment, but that patience is going to pay off very soon. Thanks for the AMA. Keep on cooking, Aaron. I love cooking. Great work. Keep on punching, cooking. I'm doing it all. What are we building next with AI? I think next we're going to do the BookUSD redesign. I think that, we had a lot of success in our last build stream where we were, built those improvements to the Blue website. So I think that the more that we can do build streams where we're actually improving the stuff that people use every day, I think that's, something that people can kind of relate to, and they're probably going to enjoy watching those things the most. And I mean, I guess in addition to all that, when we chop up these build streams into those more polished build videos, it provides huge advertising for our protocols when people see, okay, well, how do I build a swap into my own dApp? Well, we got a great video of how to do that. And guess what? They're going to be seeing Blue Protocol the entire time they're watching that. So I think that's huge. Scott says, thank you for all the hard work and dedication. I'm still holding. Let's go. You bet, man. Well, I remember what's your TG name? It's Strong Hand, Scott, I believe, right? One of the strongest holders. You're always hard working and building, buddy. Let's go. Thanks for the AMA. You bet, man. Thanks for the support to you and to everybody else here. Really appreciate it. It means the world. We're only as strong as our community, and our community is large, and I feel it's, with all the initiatives that we got going on, it's only going to keep growing, and it's going to keep getting stronger. So you guys are early. All right, guys, I'll maybe give it, actually, let's check on our long position here, see how it's doing. Oh, we got $4 of profit. So now it's like I could add like 5% of an each to the position. Let's do that for fun. Order filled. So now our position's a little bit bigger. Exactly. Strongest hands on the planet. Let's go, man. When it's in your name, you got to believe it. All right, guys. Well, that's about it. Looks like comments are drying up. So again, thanks everyone for joining the AMA. Thanks everyone that commented and participated. And yeah, we'll have another big one next week, and probably another build stream before then. Although I'm going to be a little bit tied up with some of the abstract stuff in the next day or two. But yeah, like I said, we got a bunch more guys on the team that are helping to really push things and keep excitement up. So definitely very, very bullish times ahead, guys. And we're up 10%. So thanks, and enjoy your evening, Aaron. You as well. All right, guys. Thanks, Aaron. Great AMA again. Thanks, man. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your week. And yeah, see you guys around the community.